In this video, we will show you how to replace your radiator fan clutch on this Lincoln Navigator. This will be located mounted to the front of your engine. Let's get into it. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. First, make sure that the cooling system is cool to the touch. Come right over here to the reservoir and turn that cap counterclockwise, lifting it up and away from your face. Now for this, you can either drain the coolant at the radiator, down at the petcock or the drain, or you can just use some sort of suction device and remove the coolant from inside the reservoir itself. Either way, you don't have to remove all the coolant from in the system unless of course you're planning on doing a flush. Now let's make our way underneath the passenger side front of the vehicle. You can easily access the lower drain on the radiator from just inside of the passenger side wheel well. Now for this, you want to make sure you have hand and eye protection at all times, of course. You'll notice along the passenger side, you have the drain port. To divert the coolant into our coolant receptacle, I'm going to put a little hose on here. Continue on with a 19mm wrench to loosen this nut. Allow the coolant to drain. Once that's done draining, go ahead and close that coolant drain. Now let's make our way up along here. We're going to remove the jack handle. For this, you'll find it's held in place with a couple of clips. Go ahead and give it a little tug. Set that aside. With that out of the way, let's continue on to removing our plastic trim panel. That makes its way all the way from one side of the vehicle to the other. You'll find holding this down, you have several push clips. We'll start from this side right here. On these clips right here, there should be a little center tab that you can generally pry up out of there with a flathead screwdriver or use a Phillips head to loosen it up. As you can tell, once you have the center dislodged, it becomes unlocked, and then you can remove it. We'll do the same down the line. Once those are out of there, we'll continue on a little bit further towards the engine. You'll find two more. Remove your trim panel. Now that we have that out of the way, let's continue on to the hose that connects to the top of the radiator. Squeeze the clamp, slide it up, remove the hose from the radiator. Set that aside. Let's move along to removing our air filter housing. For this, you'll find that you have an 8mm headed clamp. You can also use a flathead screwdriver for this. Loosen the clamp just enough that you can remove the hose. Once you have that off of there, we'll continue on to the clamp that holds the two air filter housing pieces together. Separate this. On the bottom of this area, there will be some wiring that leads to your mass airflow sensor. Be careful not to damage it, but we do need to get this out of the way. We'll leave that in place and set this aside. Move along to your air temp sensor. Where my thumb is, there's a small squeeze tab. Squeeze that in. Go ahead and pull that wiring right off of there. Every time you disconnect an electrical connector, take a peek. If you see any funny colors, that's corrosion and it would need to be dealt with. Now we can make our way up here to this tube. Go ahead and grab onto that and separate it. Quick inspection, set it aside. Make your way up along the front here. We'll pull these cables out of place. Follow this up to where it connects onto the intake. We'll continue loosening this clamp using our 8mm socket or flathead screwdriver. Grab onto this, give it a little wiggle, and remove it from the engine. Set it aside. Continue on to your upper radiator hose. We'll squeeze the clamp, slide it up the hose, remove the hose from the radiator. Once you get that off of there, just give it a quick squeeze. Make sure it's still soft and pliable and it's not torn, worn, or damaged in any way. Assuming it looks good, set it aside. The next thing that we will want to do is make our way down to where the fan clutch connects onto the water pump. For the fan clutch, you're going to have to use a 36mm. We'll turn this counterclockwise to remove it from the water pump. This will be easiest using a fan clutch removal tool. Now we can start unscrewing this. Now before I fully unscrew this, we'll continue on to removing the two 8mm headed bolts that hold the fan shroud to the radiator. Do the same on the other side. Alright, now at this point we can continue unscrewing the fan from the water pump. When you do this, be extremely careful that it does not fall down and potentially hit up against the radiator. Now while that's unscrewed, let's continue on by removing the fan shroud and the fan assembly at the same time. Slide this up a little bit. Remove the fan and the clutch. Now with this over on the bench, let's continue separating the fan from the fan clutch. You can do that by removing your four 13mm headed mounting bolts. Let's separate this. There it is, friends. Okay, let's start putting this back together. Hold this up into place. Start in all four of your mounting bolts. Once each of them are started, snug them up. We'll put this into position. As we slide this down, be extremely careful not to damage your radiator. Let's grab these cables out of here. Continue bringing the fan and the fan shroud down into its original position. Once you feel as though you have the fan shroud in its original positioning, continue on to the fan clutch. We'll start that onto the water pump by hand. It can be a little bit hard to get this started, but once you catch the first groove, you should be good. There we are. Bottom it out. Once you have it bottomed out by hand, continue on snugging it with your fan clutch tool. Just a couple taps should do it. Start each of them in and then snug them up. Reconnect your upper radiator hose, squeeze the clamp, put it in its original position. Make sure that's completely secured. Let's connect the hose for our coolant reservoir to the top driver's side of the radiator. Slide that all the way into position and put your clamp in position as well. Make sure it's secure. Let's continue on to our air intake system. Slide this into position on the throttle body. Once you're sure it's pressed all the way in, continue on to tightening your 8mm headed clamp. It's important to make sure each of these clamps are secured so no dirty or unmetered air makes its way into the engine. We'll put our cables back into position. As we slide this into place, make sure that you have the mass airflow sensor wiring facing down. Before we tighten this clamp, let's continue putting the two areas of the air filter housing together. You can twist this as needed. Align the top area along here. You can tell that you have a tab on one side and a little carved out area on the other. Once you have those aligned, you should be able to squeeze them together and put the clamp into the locked position. Now we can continue on to our clamp. Make sure that's completely secured together. We'll move along to our air temp sensor. Press that in, listen for a click, give it a tug to make sure that's secure. Move along to your breather hose. We'll slide that into position. As always, double check it as well. Reinstall your front trim panel and install all of your push clips. For each of the push clips, you want to make sure that you press in the outer portion first, and then continue on by locking it in position with the center. Do the same to all. Now that we have the trim panel on there, let's continue on to our jack handle. We'll slide this into position. There we are. All right, now it's time to fill our cooling system. Go ahead and remove that cover. Now, if you were to look along the passenger side of the coolant reservoir, you're going to be able to find an area where it tells you cold maximum, has a line coming across here. We're going to go ahead and fill up the cooling system up to that line. After that, we can start up the vehicle and let it run for a little while, making sure that we burp out any air from in the system. To do this, you can either use a funnel up along the top and put some in there, or you can use a coolant filling device. There we are. Once the coolant level is in the proper position, continue on to reinstalling your coolant cap. At this point, you want to go ahead and start up the vehicle. Let it run for a little while. What you'll find is that the coolant will start burping out any air from inside the system. Keep checking that fluid level. Make sure it's up to par. If you need to add, go ahead and add some and keep it at that maximum line. Now, while the vehicle's running and you're on a smooth level surface, once it's at the normal operating temperature, you're going to want to make sure you check your transmission fluid level as well.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.